another edition of the Weekend Review with E.J. Borkart.
Does anyone know where that voice was coming from? It's creepy. Anyway, it was correct. This is the Weekend Review with me, E.J. Borkart. Once again, the music in the introduction is from Avengers, Earth's Mightiest Heroes. If you have not seen this series, I highly recommend that you go ahead and check it out. It was excellent, funny, action-packed. Very, very good. I do not own it. It's owned by Marvel, obviously. And the picture is from a project I've been working on. One of my stories, the KOTC, or Kids on the Case. I will have another announcement for that. I don't want to say anything until everything is finished, but you could expect another video or article in my blog. I'm going to talk about it very soon to you guys. But that's enough of that. That's not what you came here for. You came here to find out what happened this past week in the Super Morpher. But you already know that. You've read the chapters. This is just in case there are some people who haven't and want to check them out. A little teaser for them. But what you actually came for is you want to know what happened in the story up till now in Beast Blades. And you may be here, possibly, I hope, for a little sneak peek of what's going to be happening in the chapter for next week. It's an exciting chapter, has some twists and turns that were unforeseen by the group. But that's enough of that. Let's talk about the Super Morpher. Yes. This week, Ryan goes and he finally agrees to go to a Bible study with Kari. And that's a pretty big deal for both of them. One, Ryan thought he would never, ever give in and agree to go with her. And Kari never thought he would actually agree to go to a Bible study with her. So she thought that she was secretly going to really, really want to date him for the rest of her life, but never be able to. And while he's there, Ryan gets approached by the football coach, who says that he's really looking forward to Ryan rejoining the team. There has been a professional scout at the last game looking for him. The pros are interested in Ryan. And so Ryan makes a decision that it's kind of difficult for him. It's incredibly selfish, obviously, but he decides he is going to stop being the Super Morpher and he's going to go back to football. I mean, this is his chance to make it to the pros. Who wouldn't give up being a superhero for that? I wouldn't. I mean, seriously. Obviously, Jordan is very upset by this. He does everything he can to convince Ryan that he needs to keep being the Super Morpher. Ryan doesn't care. He's going to go through with his plans. And he immediately gets accepted back by the football team. They're so happy to see him. He's doing great. And then Jordan, he goes to work for Dr. Mechanic, tells him he got done the project he was working on for him. And Dr. Mechanic gives him another project to work on. But Dr. Mechanic notices that Jordan is a little bummed. He's not quite as excited as he usually is. Finds out that Jordan was working on a project. He doesn't go into any details about it. Obviously, that'd be bad to tell him, hey, my best friend's a Super Morpher, and he decided to quit. But Dr. Mechanic's like, you don't need him for this project. You're smart enough. You can finish this on your own. And so that plants the idea into Jordan's head that, hey, I can give myself superpowers. Heck, I can give myself Ryan's superpowers. So he goes back to his lab and he starts studying Ryan's blood. And he finds out, what did Ryan do to himself? He can't tell. Nothing he's doing is showing any conclusive results. So he decides, well, Ryan got his powers by accident. I'll randomly make up a chemical mixture and shoot myself with it. Nothing can go wrong with that. I'll end up being even more powerful than Ryan, obviously. I'm a scientist. I know what I'm doing. Science, science, science. And Ryan, he ends up talking to a professional scout after the big game that Saturday. And he basically says, if you do as well next week as you did this week, you definitely have a spot on the team with the Bote Boars. Meanwhile, while all of this is going on, the city's going into chaos. burglaries and muggings and murders are way up ever since Ryan started and then quit. And the city's like, where's the super morpher? And at the very end, you see Ryan walk into the lab and see Jordan about to shoot himself with this mixture they came up with. What is going to happen? You gotta come back next week to find out. It's exciting. Oh, I am so excited about the Super Morpher. If you haven't checked it out, please do. This is the story I am most hyped for right now. We are almost to the end of it here, Guardian Malor. I don't even care. I love the Super Morpher. And now, we will talk about what has happened up till now in Beast Blades.
Previously in Beast Blades.
There's that voice again. Did you hear that? Who's doing that? Thank you anyway. So the story thus far for Beast Blades starts out with a young boy named Lucas running away from his plantation, trying to get to freedom, escaping from Acerbi, creatures made out of shadow. They catch up with him. He trips and falls into a cave, finds the legendary Beast Blade Pyra Equine, and while the Acerbi are about to attack him and most likely kill him and take the sword back to their master, Apollos, an old man, shows up, saves Lucas, and tells him what he found, and that there's 4 other blades just like it, and because he found this one, he has to go find the other 4. So they embark on a journey together, and of course, Geraldo finds out because one of the Acerbus escapes, tells him what's going on. He sends General Kane, one of his generals. He has 4 generals in his army, each specializing in a different field. General Kane specializes in Beast Blades, and General Kane finds them. He attacks them, and Apollo shows that fighting with just a sword can be even more effective than fighting with Beast Blades. And they continue their journey. Kane reports his failure to Geraldo. Geraldo's upset. Kane begs for another chance. Geraldo decides to give it to him. He runs into General Aldrich, who specializes in fighting with a sword and tactics. He is known as Geraldo's greatest tactician. Aldrich taunts Kane, saying, "You're going to fail and the king's going to throw you in the prison. It's going to be funny. And then he'll send me and I'll do what you couldn't." And Kane reveals that he has plans to one day replace Geraldo and murder Aldrich because he annoys him. And then he goes to attack them. He ambushes Apollos and Lucas, and he almost wins, except at the last moment, a wagon comes rushing into view with an old man and a young girl riding on it. Unfortunately, the Acerbus terrifies the horses by popping up in front of it and sends the old man and girl flying from the wagon. The old man ends up dying, but he has a pipe in his mouth that was lit, and that was just enough for Lucas to be able to summon Pyra Equine. Because it is a small fire horse, you need to use fire on the blade in order to summon it out. That's part of the way the Beast Blades work. You have to combine the element that the Beast Blade is made from, or the creature that the Beast Blade turns into is made from, with the proper summoning words, which is generally Awaken, Pyra Equine, or whatever the name of that Beast Blade is. So he's able to summon Pyra Equine. That's enough to turn the balance into their favor, and they manage to drive off General Kane once more. He returns to Aldrich. Not Aldrich. He returns to Geraldo. Geraldo is upset, and just as Aldrich taunted, Kane is thrown into prison, and Aldrich is sent after them. Tara, the young girl, joins with them, and the 3 of them continue. Tara joins with Apollos and Lucas, and the 3 of them continue on to Sharon City, where Apollos has a friend in the underground market that deals in Beast Blades. He thinks he might have some information about where some more of the legendary Beast Blades might be. He gets there, and he doesn't know, but he has magical ink drawn on his body that allows him to use a spell to look for things, to scry. And he's able to track down the location of the next Beast Blade they have to go after in the Carndale Valley. And Lucas buys something called a Power Blade while he's there. What Power Blades do is they create a link between the human and the Beast Blade, giving them an extra ability that is created by energy drawn off from the human. For example, he buys one that will give his stone bear, Pedrosa, extra arms. So he slashes Pedrosa with this blade. 2 extra stone arms grow out of his chest. And as long as Lucas has enough energy to stay awake, the arms stay, and he has a boosted fighting ability. There's many different kinds of Power Blades, just like there's many different kinds of Beast Blades. That and one that gives wings to a creature are the only ones we've seen so far. There is a general that specializes in them, so there will be all sorts of Power Blades shown then. Anyway, Aldrich is in the city watching Apollos, trying to find out where he's going to go, because he wants to get as many of these legendary Beast Blades as he can. Apollos figures it out too late that he's being watched by him, and as a result, the entire underground black market is captured. They have traps set up for... Oh, sorry. They escape, but it's permanently shut down. It's a long pause, and that's uncomfortable. They ends up setting guards down there, so if anyone comes back from the rebellion to go to the underground market, they can capture them and find out more people to go after, tactic strategies, smart stuff. They are able to escape from the city, and Aldrich pursues them to the Carndale Valley, and Apollos meets up with his friend Jerome. Jerome is a legendary fighter who has said, forget the world, they didn't help me when I needed it, I'm not going to help anyone ever again. His wife died because someone whose son he had saved refused to help him, so he's done with people, he's done with the world. And Terra, who is, her grandfather was the leader of the rebellion in Falance, she is trying to convince everyone she meets, you gotta come join the rebellion in Falance. We're being Geraldo, we need your help, come join us, we need you. She tries that on Jerome. Jerome kicks them all out because he doesn't like people, he doesn't like people asking him for help. They search the Carndale Valley. While they are doing so, they are separated, and General Aldrich, being the crafty general that he is, he approaches the children and plants seeds of distrust, telling them half-truths about Apollos. And they do start to mistrust him. As a result, when they find the legendary Beast Blade, Aldrich attacks. Because of their distrust, they fight separate. They don't fight together, and Aldrich is able to win with the help of his 2 captains, Hugh and Charles, who are also very good swordsmen. Ultimately, Apollos kills them while Aldrich escapes with the legendary Beast Blade of Water, Rio Puto, and they then chase him down after Apollos reveals that he is actually the guardian of the Shadow Sanctuary. It was up to him to make sure that no one ever got the sword that Geraldo, who is his son, and Aldrich was his apprentice as the next guardian of the Shadow Sanctuary, and that while he was guardian of the Shadow Sanctuary, the sword was there. He was immortal. He couldn't die of old age or anything like that. But now that Geraldo has it, as long as he has the blade in his possession, he is immortal, cannot be killed, all that fun stuff. And Aldrich was his apprentice. He thought that he could use the sword to make the world better, so he convinced Geraldo to take the sword. But unfortunately, the sword corrupted him, and he turned into what he is now, a man who went from trying to protect his country to trying to control it. Anyway, they chase after Aldrich, who's escaping down the river on a raft. They chase after him on the wagon, being pulled by an elephant made out of earth. They catch up with him. Apollos and Lucas jump onto the wagon, and they fight with Aldrich and his beast blades. And as a result, there's many mud banks in the river randomly that Aldrich was having to pay attention to steer around. Unfortunately, the raft crashes right into one, sending Lucas flying into the river. He hits his head on a rock and he's washed away unconscious. No one knows what happens to him. Everyone thinks he's dead. He is dead, probably. I haven't written that far, so I'm not sure yet. And so they all decide that they need to go to Falance to help out with the rebellion until the next legendary Beastblade Master shows himself. Aldrich reveals, hey guys, I left a trap for Jerome at his house, and they're going to attack him tonight, so we need to go save Jerome. They go and save Jerome. Jerome is saved, they fight the Acerbi, and he gives them supplies and a very, very unique Beastblade that has... It's the only one that has the ability to heal people. So that was just fantastic for them. And then they continue on to Sharon City, and on the way, Aldrich reveals that they are most likely going to be going up against General Elimus, which is Geraldo's magic specialist. The way magic works in this world is there's this pool of this black inky stuff that you go to, you make symbols on your body with the ink, and then each symbol represents a spell that you can use. You touch the symbol, it turns into powder, you breathe it in, you can do the magic. Temporarily, of course. So it's a very finite thing. People have tried to take more of the substance with them to apply new designs after they are gone. Any ink that you try to do that just disappears, dries up, is no good, unless they reveal if you have scrolls made out of human skin, you can write extra symbols on there and use it as if it was on your own body. Very, very creepy and morbid, I know, but the guy who's doing this is not a good guy. And so they head to Sharon City. That is where that ends off. Now, for your sneak peek, they arrive in Sharon City, but of course, everyone knows that Aldrich is loyal to Geraldo, so he could get into the city no problem. Except he's trying to travel with the two people that are on Geraldo's most wanted list at the moment. Probably not going to work out too well for them, so they decide that Aldrich will pretend that he's captured them, and once he's resupplied and gotten repairs made to their wagon, he'll collect them and act like he's taking them to Geraldo, but instead they'll go to Falance. Oh, I forgot to mention that Aldrich joined with them. Yes, Aldrich manages to... Apollos decides to let Aldrich join with them because the rebellion can use his brilliant tactical mind very well. I'm sorry if you were confused by all this. It happened, trust me. Yeah, go back and read it. It was in the 2 chapters ago. Well, 2 chapters ago, including next week's. So last week's chapter, chapter 8. There you go. It happened in chapter 8. Now, unfortunately, something goes wrong with Aldrich's plan. I won't reveal what, but all I can tell you is instead of it ending up as him taking these prisoners to Geraldo, or at least pretending to, it turns into a mad chase to save them from someone else. So I'm going to end it off right there. This has been the weekend review for August 2nd. Sorry, we're in August now. This has been the weekend review for August 2nd, featuring primarily the history of the Beastblades. Once again, I am EJ Borkert. I don't have any questions to answer for you this week. Please, leave me questions. I love to answer questions for you. Questions about me. Questions about my story. Questions about why toast always lands butter side down. I don't know the answer, but I could look into it for you. Or at least come up with something creative and witty and funny. But yes, that has been the weekend review for this week. Please come back all through the week and check out my story. Chapter 9 of Beastblades will be going up. I will have Chapter 13, I believe, of Here, Garden of Malor in audio format. And as always, I will have another commercial to analyze for you. Which, actually, this time, I might put up a video on Thursday instead of me coming up with a commercial based off of a random product that I come up with. Because I can come up with ideas, at least, pretty quickly. So that might mix it up a bit. You'll have to let me know if you want to see that or not. We're heading on into over 20 minutes here, so I am going to end this off here. Once again, thank you for checking out the video. If you're still here, you're wonderful, you're marvelous. Have a great week, everyone. Bye.